Hey guys, so got some time to kill, waiting for the bus, right? Remember I talked about the neighbors, right? The Tin Man and the Wicked Witch neighbors, the ones that reported me for spending time on private property, taking down a few trees and leveling gravel, playing some music, digging in the ground while I was planting, and the structure I made for the plants to climb on, right? That one, yeah, yeah. They reported me to the municipal office, right, for spending time there, and the municipal office got back to us, and they said that it's common practice, that they look into it when they get a report like this, and I didn't think that much of it. Common practice, right? I buy that. However, the neighbors have been harassing the owners of this property for, 25 years or something like that, right? So I got a little bit tired once they, moved on to harassing me, because I was spending time there, right? So I decided to take it to the police office, right? Talk to the police about the harassment and see what they would do about it, if they were, gonna do anything about it. Turns out in Sweden, they don't give a flying fuck about harassment, right? Because you need to have video evidence of this going on, and it needs to be at least once a day for a very, very long time, right? That's where they put the bar for harassment in Sweden. So someone can basically fuck your life up without any repercussions, right? And so what I thought was, since the neighbor is reporting me for unlawful activities and trying to point out I was building something and there might be a permit missing, right? I was thinking, the neighbor has built a fence posts, storage unit for their garbage bins and whatever, right, outside of their property limits, right? So it's basically in the zoning limit. I mean, we've got zoning laws for this area, right? So the area is bound to certain zoning laws, right? I guess it's almost the same as where you live, but anyway, so I was thinking, why not? I mean, like, it might just be poetic justice that I file a report on their actual unlawful construction outside of their property, right? Well, the municipal office, they received the complaint, and they got back to me, and they said they dropped it for all kinds of reasons. One being that it was not within their jurisdiction, which I know it is, because the zoning laws are very much the jurisdiction of their office, right? And well, I kind of brushed it off, because I was thinking, if they can let an actual offense, an actual violation of the zoning laws, if they can let that go, they're not gonna come harass me about it, right? What I'm doing on this property, right? So I just let it go, and I kept going on with my things, well, sticking to the law, right? The permissions that I have, what I can and cannot do, I was following those guidelines, right? And turns out they actually did come to check what I was doing, right? And not one, but two people. I mean, one from sanitations and one from the permit, well, the permit office, you might say, right? It's like a chapter within the same office, but anyway, still. So two people come there. One of them has got very funny attitude, The other one is cool. The one from sanitation is really cool, but the other one, he starts out by, you know, trying to trick question me into giving him answers that can come with a citation, a fine, basically, right? And I find it really funny that someone who's just curious as to what I'm doing on the property, just curious, just wants to know, is trying to trick me into giving him answers he can find me for, right? Or even, you know, run me off the property for. That was the part where it started like feeling really funny, right? And well, I walk around the property and I give him the answers, and in the end, I basically tell him that I've been in touch with your office and I know what the guidelines for this area are, right? And I never told him that I've been in construction for 25 years, right? So, and I mean 10 of them as my own company owner, right? So I never told him that part, but I know the rules, the general rules, and I looked into the rules of this area as well. So, and I did actually use AI to double check what I found. So I mean, I have paragraphs, I have everything, right? So I know I'm not off on this one. And in the end, I kind of found it a little bit weird, right? Because it's not normal. It is not normal to behave like that, right? So I asked him, like, why is it you're actually here? What is it that brings you here? Because I would like to know, right? And he has to like check in his paper where he finds one issue that he feels the owner of the property never gave him any straight answers to, right? And I mean, surely if there's one reason why you're there, you can remember it without looking in your papers, right? So around there, I realized he's straight up lying to me, just like trying to find an excuse. And I asked him, how come you're here to check me out, and the neighbor has built outside of their property, they put up posts and you know, the storage space for the garbage bins and whatnot, right? And I found it really funny, but well, the reason he gave me was that it's not their job, right? So this is the second person from the same office giving me this runaround bullshit and lying, straight up lying to me, right? And I tell him about what the person has constructed outside of it, and he goes like, yeah, well, there's no permit needed for a fence, and there's no permit needed for this and that and blah blah blah. But that's not really important when he's in violation of the coding laws, the zoning laws, right? The codes for what's allowed to do within this area, basically, right? So I know he's lying to me, right? I've checked it out, I've looked into it, and I know he's lying to me, and I just keep on, you know, asking him, like, how come you're okay with I asked him, what is your take on, you know, someone using you guys to harass someone, basically, right? And he just doesn't give me any straight answers, and I say that I'll ask him, like, are you referring this further to someone else who's gonna look into it? Because I mean, it's starting to get ridiculous, right? And of course, that's not his job. He says that his job is this and that, and he basically doesn't give a right? And I found that a little bit funny, you know, because on one hand, he's there to look into my existence on this property, but he is willing to let someone go of actual violations, right? And this municipality is known for its nepotism We even have a word for it, brother-in-law politics, right? Svågerpolitik in Swedish, right? And it is known for corruption. So I'm asking myself at this point, why is this happening, right? Why are they lying, basically, right? Why is no one looking into his things? They're actually putting a lot of time into looking into me, but not the actual violation that the neighbor did, right? Am I the only one to find that a little bit weird? Yeah. Well, that's it for now. Later, guys. So if you like the content, share, like, subscribe. You know, maybe not in that order, but you know the thing. You know the drill, right? I mean, you've been around for a while, so yeah. And see you later.